In this video, we'll look at buying our first index fund or ETF. There are many good providers out there. You might be looking at Vanguard or iShares. I'll go through the different pros and cons of the providers and how to figure out which the best fund is for you. You might have found this video by searching for how to buy an index fund. So what exactly is an index fund? These are by far and away the most popular types of funds that people trade. They have the most assets under management, and that's because they're simple and easy. So the way it works is, let's say you want to buy the 500 leading stocks in the US. Can you go ahead and do that? No. 500 stocks, buying each of them individually, it's going to take you forever. Then you have to manage those, right? So maybe some grow and some don't. Do you need to sell some of them? Do you need to buy other ones? It's a complete nightmare. You can't do it. So what we do is we go over to Vanguard and say, you do that for us, and you just give us this bucket of stocks that we would want to own, and you manage that over time, and then just make that easy for us to buy. So as you can see with Vanguard, the most popular fund by far and away is the S&P 500 ETF right here. And if you go over to another provider like iShares, exactly the same, S&P 500 ETF. This is an index. So the S&P 500 is the 500 leading shares in the US. And what these fund providers will do is track that index perfectly. And all we have to do is just buy one share or any amount that we want of that fund, and we get exposure to all of those companies. This is how most people invest, right? So here are the investable asset classes, and you'll be able to see that there are different indexes. So you have, for example, value, small caps, mid caps, large caps, etc. Those are indexes, and you can see the ETF ticker on the left-hand side. So what we can do, if we want exposure to one certain part of the market, we just go and search for it. We buy the fund, simple and easy, and we get diversified access into everything within that index fund. So instead of going out and buying all of these stocks individually, which is impossible, Vanguard or iShares, they go out and buy them, they do everything, and they just give us an exchange traded fund, an index fund traded on an exchange that we can simply access. We can buy one share, we can buy $10, we can buy $100, it doesn't matter. And we get access to the blended performance of all of these companies. So some might go up, some might go down. But if overall these 500 companies move 1% to the upside, that is what our investment will do. It will move 1% to the upside. So easy, simple, low fees, low cost, and we get access to a broad diversified basket of investments. There are only a few asset classes that we can actually invest in that actually exist in the real world, right? You have real estate, you have government bonds or corporate bonds, you have shares in companies, and then you have commodities like gold or Bitcoin. And what you can do is go and search for the fund that you want, find the provider that provides it, and that's it. And then you can search via their trading fees or other management fees and everything else to make sure that you're getting the best deal. So for example, let's go and search for a NASDAQ 100 ETF. So we're going to search on iShares, and they do provide one. If we scroll down here, you can see the NASDAQ 100. So the NASDAQ 100 is the 100 leading non-financial companies listed on the NASDAQ exchange in the US. And that's way more specific than, for example, the S&P 500, which is just the 500 leading companies. So let's say that we want to buy the NASDAQ 100. You can see that we are offered that right here, NASDAQ 100. Now, if we go to Vanguard, for example, as of making this video, Vanguard do not focus on funds that track specific exchanges. And so they actually don't provide a NASDAQ 100 ETF. What they provide is the S&P 500 ETF. They also have an information technology ETF, which may be very similar to the NASDAQ, but it's not exactly the same. So what you can do firstly is figure out which index do I actually want to track? What do I want exposure to? Once you've found that particular index, for example, the S&P 500 index, something like that, you can say, okay, which provider actually gives this? And then I can choose a provider. We don't have to be loyal to Vanguard or iShares or any of the others. We can just find what exactly we want, find who provides it. Is that available in our brokerage account? Then we can go ahead and buy it. So you can find all of them here. And what we'll do is we can click into one of the funds, and then you can find what is it tracking? And then what are the fees, expenses, and everything else? And do I actually want to go ahead and buy that? Now I'll show you how to navigate the different prospectus pages of these different funds. This is going to show you which assets the fund holds, the performance over time, the costs, the fees, the charges, everything else. And you can compare them from one provider to the next as well. If you have the exact same fund and one provider is cheaper, then go with the cheaper fund, because if you're just paying more fees, that is going to affect your performance over time. So what we can do is go to the website of a couple of different providers. I'll link all of the different provider websites down in the description as well, so you can just quickly get to them. But let's say that we figured out we want to buy the S&P 500. This is the Vanguard version right here. We also have the iShares version from BlackRock, S&P 500. Exactly the same fund, so it should have pretty much exactly the same constituents and fees and everything else. What you want to do is just go to the kind of snapshot here. Expense ratio is the most important thing. 0.03%. Every year, 0.03% of the value of what you have will be taken as a fee for them managing this fund. That is extremely low. That's why a lot of people choose Vanguard. If we go over to iShares, you can see that their expense ratio is also 0.03. So very competitive. They're exactly the same. And if Vanguard drop their fees, I'm sure iShares would drop their fees as well, right? The competition would obviously keep them very close. Now, if we scroll down, you can see all of the specific details of the fund. This is very important as well. So if you're in the US, you'll be buying US funds, no problem. If you're outside of the US, there are a few different things that you might want to consider. For example, which currency is the fund trading in? For US users, all of your funds are going to be US denominated, no problem. If you're in Europe or the UK or somewhere else, do you want your fund actually denominated in your own currency? Well, those are different funds, so you can go and find them as well if you want. You can buy US domiciled funds, US traded funds, but you might want a pound sterling fund, for example. So in the UK, iShares will have an S&P 500 ETF traded in pounds, and that might be better for you. Also, if you're outside of the US, you might want to buy a fund that is domiciled outside of the US, and that's because of tax reasons. I'll go over tax and different fund structures in the next section of this video, because it's very, very important. If you're buying a fund, make sure that you know that. We can come down and see exactly what this fund is and everything else. So this is an index fund. This is the ticker. So if we want to go ahead and buy this in our brokerage account, all we have to do is just search for this in our brokerage account. We can find this fund very easily. You can see the price minimum investment is $1, so no problem there. We can buy that in our brokerage account. And dollar obviously means it's a US denominated fund, a US dollar denominated fund. You can see the fees over time, quarterly, annually, whatever you want. You can see how the fund has actually performed. Now, comparing one fund to another, if they're comparing the exact same fund, the performance is going to be almost identical over time. If we come down to the trading price and everything, so the price of this fund per share is $681. However, in the vast majority of brokerage accounts now, you can buy fractional shares. So you can buy $10 of it. It's not going to be an issue. So that is something that you might want to look at. It doesn't really matter because in your brokerage account, you can buy any amount here. If we come down to the bottom, what you can see is the portfolio construction and what the fund holds. So you can see these stocks here: Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft. These are the 500 leading companies in the US. So it's going to be the 500 leading companies, and the top companies have a larger percentage of the fund. And what happens is over time, as some companies win and some companies lose, the percentage of the fund will change as those prices move as well. So you can compare this with the BlackRock version. This is going to be exactly the same, right? You can see the different constituents here. This is tracking the exact same fund, so they should be absolutely the same and will give you pretty much exactly the same performance. You just want to look at the expense ratio of these funds. The expense ratio has to be very low and has to be consistent there, and if it is, then I would choose that fund over another provider. You'll also notice that the expense ratios for non-US domiciled funds are typically higher for exactly the same thing. So I'm now on the UK version of iShares, and we're going to look at the S&P 500 ETF. In the US, iShares and Vanguard had 0.03 expense ratios. For the non-US ETF, for exactly the same thing, we'll look at the key facts here. You can see that the expense ratio is 0.07%, so more than double, but the domicile is in Ireland. So let me quickly explain the difference here. If you're a US citizen, you live in the US, just buy the US funds, no problem. You know your own tax brackets already. If you're outside of the US, then there are going to be different tax treatments depending where you live. And if you're buying US funds domiciled in the US, that is acknowledged as US property. If you own US property, there are certain taxes you have to pay. For example, if you live in a country without a tax treaty with the US, then dividends and distributions from the fund will have a withholding tax of 30%. So if you get paid a dividend of $100, the US will keep $30 of it, and you can't get that back. So that's the withholding tax. Also, if you live outside of the US and you own US property, which these funds would be designated as because they're held in the US, and you pass away, your estate will be subject to a hefty estate tax in the US as well, because that will be deemed as US property. We don't want this. So what we do is we buy a UCITS fund, which is a fund domiciled for the most part in Ireland. There are some domiciled, I think, in Germany and others, but without a doubt, Ireland is where most of these funds are. Ireland doesn't have these taxes. So if you own an Ireland domiciled fund, they get taxed not at 30%, but at 15%. So distributions, dividends, etc., the US will withhold 15% instead of 30%, and that's it. Now, when those distributions get paid to you, you may have other income taxes, etc., that you have to pay in your country. You can sort that out yourself, but the withholding tax is way lower. Also, there will be no estate tax that you pay if you pass away because the property is domiciled in Ireland. Even though it's the same companies, these are US companies, the property of this fund is domiciled in Ireland. Therefore, you don't own US property. Therefore, you won't pay any estate taxes if you pass away. So for the most part, if you live outside of the US, you'll be looking at these UCITS funds. They simply just have better tax treatment. Now, if you have a tax treaty with the US in your country, you may actually pay no further tax. You may get better tax treatment, and it may actually be okay for you to buy the US funds as well. You'll have to talk about that with your tax advisor to know exactly, because different countries have different tax treaties with the US. If you have no tax treaty at all, you definitely want to be going to the Ireland funds because you're simply just going to be paying less withholding tax and no estate tax either. Before showing you how to navigate a brokerage account and buy these, what we need to do is figure out what type of account that we want to set up. Now, if you just open a brokerage account, that will be a taxable account, which means that any gains that you make in that account, for example, if you make a capital gain between buying and selling, you'll have to pay capital gains tax. Any dividends or income that you receive from your ETFs, you may have to pay income tax on those as well. We want to reduce taxes as much as possible because it's going to make a huge difference over time to the amount that we make. So in the US, for the most part, for self-directed funds, you'll have either an IRA or a Roth IRA. There are 401ks as well, but I believe that's to do with your employer. These are slightly different in how the tax treatment is given to you. So with traditional IRA contributions, they may be tax deductible for the year they are made, which means that you can make a contribution to an IRA account and those contributions will reduce your tax liability for that year. With a Roth IRA, you pay tax on your income and everything. So you pay your tax, and then that money you can put in, and that will be tax-free on withdrawals. Now, the choice is up to you because this depends on when you're looking to take the funds out. So for example, if you're reducing tax now, that may be better if you're high income. If you're paying tax, it might be better later down the line. So you're going to have to figure out which one is best for you, IRA or Roth IRA. If you're in the UK, a very similar type of account is given to us known as an ISA, a stocks and shares ISA. No capital gains tax. There's a limit on how much you can put in per year, but there are some benefits. So definitely max out these accounts first before just buying and selling in a taxable account. Also, you'll want to find a brokerage that offers these accounts. Interactive Brokers, Schwab, Fidelity, many others. Go towards those. Make sure you get these tax deducted or tax deferred accounts, and then you want to max those out first. Put your investments in those. Once those are maxed out, you'll have to go to the normal taxable account. Because these funds are standardized and traded on exchanges, it means that we can buy them through any brokerage account. We just find the fund that we want and that's it. So Schwab, Robinhood, Revolut, anything else, find the fund you want and buy it. So I'll show you exactly how to search for them. Now, let's say that I want to buy the S&P 500 ETF. The ticker is VOO. So we go over to my app and you'll notice that for me, VOO isn't an option. That's because this is a UK account and I need the non-US version, right? If you're in the US, just search for VOO, or better, just read what the fund is. So what we'll do is come out here. We'll go to ETFs, exchange traded funds. You can see them all here. So number one is the Vanguard S&P 500 UCITS ETF. So for UK users, they're buying more of the UCITS ETF for that tax treatment. You also have the FTSE All World Index. Again, that's just stocks from around the world. If we scroll down, we have the iShares S&P, Information Technology Index, and so on. These funds are completely standardized throughout the world. If you go to a different brokerage account, you can just find the exact same fund. It's going to be the same price, traded in either dollars, euros, pounds, whatever else. You can click on it. You can see if it's good for you. check the currency that it's traded in, check if it's UCITS or not. And then if you want to buy it, you just go down, press get started, put your money in, buy $1, $10, it doesn't matter. Most brokerages allow you to buy any amount of a stock these days. So if you want to know exactly how to use Revolut or the other apps that I use, you can check the tutorial videos down in the description showing you how to sign up, put money in there, actually buy the stock, sell the stock, and everything else. You can watch those videos. I'll link all of the top fund providers pages down in the description too, as well as some other information that you may need, and all the other helpful videos that you may want to look at will all be listed down in the description. I'm James, this is MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.